Alright guys, welcome to episode 13 of Ask Woodford. As always, I'm with my producer Alex Sandelis. Thank you Alex for turning up once again. Unfortunately today we're supposed to have Brent O'Leary. He's not on today, so you just got me guys. Episode 13, really excited about it. I've just had a bit of an emotional day. Literally, hopefully, I just found out Alex was filming when I didn't know he was filming, and him and I had a good blustery back and forth, and I got a bit emotional. I don't know why. I guess I'm just thinking about the 5 years coming up in September. Woodford 5-year anniversary in September, so I just kind of really thought about how hard it was to get to this point in time and the visualization I had to do to actually really make it to this point. So thank you, Alex, for doing that. I really appreciate it. It should, when it comes out, it should be compelling viewing, I'll tell you what. Very compelling viewing. Don't say I don't love you, Dad. Don't say if I don't love you. Alex,
Yep.
First question, go.
All right, this is from Declan Stanley. Okay. Recommendations for individuals seeking to undertake military training under the government special forces direct entry scheme to make a selection for the commando role. Some of the tasks involve 20k marches with full packs, which are like 40 kilos plus, to be done in just over 3 hours, with under sleep deprivation, minimal food, little water. How would you basically prepare someone for that?
Nothing different. Nothing real different. You'd keep the. I didn't know this phone was on. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. I would really do not much difference in terms of your strength work. So I just got to see you mess me here. I mean, I wouldn't change much difference. And I'm sorry, I'm still on my phone. If you actually ask my father.
Come on, Wood.
I know. I had to finish this. I'm always on here. I wouldn't change much different. The only thing I would do, so you do your, obviously, we all know for a fact strength, maximal strength level, okay, the maximum amount of weight you can lift, so maximum force generating capacity is correlated, so that it facilitates and complements your power, your speed, and even your endurance as well, okay, due to what we call prolonged time to fatigue, increased running economy, so you're improving efficiency via your nervous system. So I would, your main stuff in the gym, you still do that in the gym. Your conditioning, you could do some GPP stuff. The most specific way of improving, let's give an example, your pack marches is getting 40 kilos on your back and doing pack marches. But the only issue with that is that I see is the overuse on joints. But you still have to condition your body for preparation.
Is there a way you could program that to minimize the
load to the joints? Yeah. Look, my thing would be, but the thing is you have to do some sort of marching because that's a very specific way. Let's say, obviously you can do GPP all you want, and then you get to this point where you're doing a pack march and you literally can't pack march because you've never pack marched before. You're fucked. It's just not going to work. So you have to pack march. It have to be periodized. It have to be properly structured where you slowly build up load. Load is not a bad thing. The issue comes when you spike load too quickly. And quickly, if you want to read up on more training load, and I've seen him in person, unbelievable. I've had a chat to him, Tim Gabbett. If you want to tag any Tim or whatever, Tim Gabbett, he's a leader on training load monitoring around the world. And I've gone to his seminars and he talks about the importance of load. Load is not a bad thing, but the issue comes when you spike load too quickly. So it might be something like, just giving a random arbitrary number, might be gone from 3 kilometer run to a 20 kilometer run. Like it's spiking the load too soon. Okay, and remember, as performance coaches, we're stress managers as well. We need to manage stress. Now, if there's too much stress, we're going to break down, we're going to get injured, performance going to decrease. Not enough stress, we're obviously going to be underprepared. So that's where the art and the science comes into it. So it's kind of understanding in between how to manage the load, how to slow incrementally a step load, increase your load gradually and not too soon to get injured. So you want load to bulletproof your body, too much load, we're going to get injured. So that's just understanding that. But the most important thing, and I talk about this all the time, is nail the fundamentals, the big 6: hinge, squat, horizontal push, horizontal pull, vertical push, vertical pull. Those 6 movements are going to lay the foundation for every fucking program in the world, regardless of performance, rehab, injury prevention, or body composition. Okay, nail those big 6, develop your strength through those 6 primal patterns, hit your explosive work in the gym as well, and all your conditioning work, GPP. Your specific work would be with your pack marches when you do it, and you want to slowly build your load up through there. And just quickly, he said about with no, not much food and stuff like that.
Minimal food,
I'm not going to touch on that topic. That's a nutritionist to touch on that. But
Have you ever prepared someone for something like that, or know
an
someone
ultra
who has?
endurance for a race or something, or for something like that stresses the body like that?
Something extreme, like the military.
That's tactical strength. No, I've never done that.
Do you recommend anybody who is an expert in that?
Mick Strelecki, my boy Mick. Tag Mick in this. Mick Strelecki's name is. I think Mick, have I said your name right? Mick Strelecki? He's a really nice dude. He's like the leader of tactical strength conditioning. So if you're interested in tactical strength conditioning, Mick's your man. Mick Strelecki. He's at the he runs the S&C for the New South Wales Police Force. Right. There you go. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mick, but right below if I'm wrong. Alright. Next question.
Mohamed C. I'm not going to say your last name. I want to butcher it.
No, don't worry. I'll butcher it.
Is there a pretty good chance of getting full knee range of motion after a minor meniscal tear?
Case-by-case basis. I can't answer that one. Case-by-case. A very specific case-by-case. Well, it's not really specific, but case-by-case. Can you tag Mick Hughes in this? I've really got to get Mick on. Poor Mick. I've got to tag Mick in this.
You've got to get him on.
Mate, Mick, when are you free? Come on, because that's a pathology question in terms of understanding healing, and I'm not going to shit on his area, man. I just don't do it. So, Mick, if you were here, tag Mick again. Mick, just comment, tell me the answer. Thanks, Mick. Poor Mick.
Nick Maines.
Nick.
I saw on a Tiger Fitness YouTube channel that tall guys shouldn't squat for hypertrophy due to too much stress on your lower back and limbs. I'm 6'5" and feel like I fall under that category. Would be great if you could give me and all the other tall guys and girls your opinion on big guys squatting.
Did you say 6'5"? What's that in centimetres?
Hodgie's nearly 7 foot, so minus 5 inches from Hodge.
All right, so I train Hodge, 211 centimetres, right? He's taller than Nick. He squats. Okay, I think that's a generalisation in terms of the rule saying that they shouldn't squat or anything. Like, I don't think that. Read out the question again so I understand it 100% specific. He's saying that he's tall.
Okay, yeah, he saw that.
Where did you see it?
Tiger Fitness YouTube channel. I don't know what.
I don't know what Tiger.
A tall guy shouldn't squat for hypertrophy due to too much stress on your lower back. What do you think on that?
Oh, well, that's...
And tall people squatting.
No, I don't agree. I disagree completely with that. Squatting is fine. This is where people don't understand, right? A squat is a compound multi-joint lower body quad dominant movement. It's critical to develop the lower body in terms of strength, power, and muscular size. Now, the thing about choosing exercise is you need to choose a variance based on that individual requirement. Now, people with long levers have a lot more range of motion than someone who's got short levers, like someone who's stocky and short. So what you would do and what I would do for long levered guys is, and I do it with Hodge, is he squats. And he squats for hypertrophy, he squats for strength. You know, he squats for both in terms of accumulation and intensification. You know that, right? The only thing I do different with Hodge is I put plates on a box. Now, what plates does is it minimises the range of motion. So for a tall guy who has much longer range of motion than a stocky guy, I minimise the range. He gets still some sort of stimulus to his lower body. We develop a very specific, not specific, but a general motor pattern in terms of lower body push pattern. And he really reaps a reward about improving his ability to apply force to the ground. So very important. So for them saying that you shouldn't squat and it puts stress on the lower back, I hate when people say generalisation like don't deadlift, it hurts your back, don't squat because it's going to wreck your knees. It's just a stupid thing. A squat and a deadlift has been used for years, hundreds of years perfectly fine. It's how you implement them, how you coach them, and how you use the variance based on each individual requirement. People just say that, don't understand the human body or don't understand the reason why they use it. So what I would do, Nick, is obviously I squat my guys to a box at parallel. For Hodge, I don't start him at that. I start him a little bit higher as he improves his mobility and his motor control and his skill acquisition on the squat. I lower the box down. Mate, can we tag Hodge in this? Hodge, massive shout out to you, brother. I think you've done a real good job, mate. So come next year, we go back to the NBA again, we roll the dice again, and we make it happen. So I believe in you, mate. I believed in him from the start. So we'll do it again. Good luck. He's got Australian camp as well.
Boomers.
Yeah, he's got Boomers camp. So good luck, champ.
All right.
Hopefully that answers next question. So no, I don't agree with it. Saying that though, Alex, many ways to skin a cat. So if that's their method, and I've always said, Alex, methods are a many, principles are a few. So it's the individual who actually interprets fundamental sports science principles, apply them in practical sense for each individual athlete, and works. I'm in the game of getting results. I'm not in the game of discussing every fucking method. Whatever works for my athlete, I'm just going to do. Thank you.
Zach Carufa. Okay, I was wondering for optimal neural adaptations for explosive sports such as kickboxing. I understand that.
What's his name?
Zach.
Shit, loving it.
I understand.
How old is he, you reckon?
He looks about 20s.
Man, wait. Let's just enjoy the first part of this right now, mate. Just talk about neurological adaptation. Mate, good on you. Mate, that's a shit that I wanted people to talk about this shit, man. All we talk about mechanical manifestation in terms of muscular hypertrophy, and everyone looks at people and they see a big guy, right? And they're like, fuck, man, that guy's jacked. He must be strong, must be athletic, right? But then they forget about the most important component of athletic development, the ability of the nervous system to activate that tissue. So I say this to you and I say this to the boys, I wish we could see the individual's nervous system, but unfortunately we can't. We only see their muscular system. Okay, and I understand that a bigger muscle has the potential to be a stronger, more powerful muscle. Most of the time, most of those jack guys, they don't train in athlete movement competent type of way. It's just fucking lift as most amount of weight possible, as many reps, more volume work, isolation, blah, 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 blah. So their nervous system's not that efficient. So anywhere people can talk about the nervous system, the missing link is the nervous system. Prop. So what's his name again? Zach, you're a legend in my book already.
All right. For optimal neural adaptations for explosive sports such as kickboxing, he understands that exercise should be plyometric based, but is wondering if this should be done till fatigue, or for example, only leave it at 10 repetitions of a specific plyometric exercise.
So he's saying that should he go to fatigue with plyos,
yes, or keep it at how would you program for that?
Okay, with plyometrics. Okay, so I want you to think about this. This is a very good question,
just
actually.
For optimal neural adaptations.
Yeah, okay. So I want you to think plyometrics, right? So what you have to think why a performance coach would program a plyometric or a jump. Same category, right? So let's look at it this way. It might be a bound. It might be bounding continuous. It might be jumping vertically. It might be lateral bounds, whatever, right? The reason why we program plyometrics or jumps is to improve the nervous system's ability CNS's ability to express force rapidly, i.e. power, okay? Or elasticity, reactive strength, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But anyway, it means same shit, but depending on how you define it. But it's pretty much improving the nervous system ability to express force rapidly. So I want you to think about the main metabolic pathway you're using. So let's go back to our energy pathways, the 3 pathways. 1, ATP-PC. Number 2, anaerobic glycolytic. Number 3, aerobic, right? The first 2 pathways are anaerobic without oxygen. The last one's aerobic with oxygen, right? Now, the downfall of the aerobic energy pathway is, yes, it breaks down the substrate fully, but it takes a very long time to break it down. The benefit of the first 2 pathways is it can produce force and it produces energy quite quickly. But the downfall of both pathways is it doesn't fully break down. Okay, so it produces energy at a quick rate, but the issue is how inefficient those pathways are because it only lasts for a certain amount of time. Okay, and also another drawback of the anaerobic glycolytic pathway is obviously your metabolic byproducts, your lactate and your hydrogen. So what happens when lactate accumulation overtakes lactate removal, the muscle becomes acidic, lowers the pH, inhibits nerve conduction. So we know that. So we know that system can only produce enough force or energy for a certain period of time before we lower the intensity. Now, we use plyometrics as a high intensity effort. We develop power through the ATP-PC system. Now, this system produces a lot of energy, okay? High energy quickly. But the drawback is we're in at depending on who you talk to, 8 to 12 seconds of intramuscular sources of ATP-PC. So I want you to think if we're using plyometric and jumps to express force rapidly, right? And you're doing it for a prolonged period of time to failure, and this for all my viewers out there, think about what's going to happen when you train to failure. What happens with the technique? It decreases. What happens with the speed of the movement? It decreases. But isn't the whole reason why you're using jumps and plyos to improve power, to improve the abilities to the nervous system's ability to produce force rapidly? That's what we use it for. So doing it to failure kind of contradicts the whole reason why we use jumps and pliers. So a perfect example is you go on Facebook, and this is what did me when I first started Woodford. That's why I was quite passionate, is you go on Facebook and you see someone doing jumps onto a box and they're doing 50. Like, here is Brianna, random name, doing box jumps, 50 reps for power development. No, you're not using it to develop power, you're using it to develop work capacity, okay, endurance. Because after doing 3 to 4 reps, that movement speed, let's be honest, is going to slow down. But the whole idea is to place it, it's called a dose-response relationship. Once you've got that dose and that response, once you've hit those high threshold fast twitch motor units and you stimulate the nervous system, you don't need any more. More is not always better with strength, power, speed. Less is better. Quality, not quantity. I talk about that all the time in my posts. So quality, not quantity. But the issue with this industry, it's all about quantity, not quality. They think if 3 is good, 4 must be better. If 4 is good, 5 must be better. No, it's not that. With strength, with power, with speed. I'll give you an example. Plyometrics. It's a high neural, low muscular demand. What I mean by that is you should be just as fresh after the session as you are before. It's about stimulation, not annihilation. It's about... Would you like that one? Woo! I'm on fire. Woo!
Put that on the shirt.
Yes! Stimulate, not annihilate. What is it? Fuck fancy. But it's about stimulation. It's about fast twitch fiber recruitment. It's about quality. It's not about quantity. And that's a big thing about when people program anything to do with power, speed, strength. It's always fucking got to train a failure, got to feel like I've achieved something. Where, you know, this could be a good snippet where you take out, Alex, by the way, talking about why you don't want to train a failure with plyometrics or any power-based movement because velocity specificity is king. Remember, adaptation is task specific. The way you train affects how you adapt. Muscle group, motor pattern, joint angle, contraction height, contraction velocity, metabolic pathway. I could go on for fucking ages. What I'm trying to say is adaptation, said specific adaptation imposed demand. Gas general adaptation syndrome. I could go on for years here, but what I'm trying to say is adaptation is very, very specific. If you train that speed, your body will adapt to that speed. Now, obviously, there's outliers. Example. If you get a novice, you can give them any fucking stimulus, they're going to improve their power and speed concurrently because they're lower trained. Their window of adaptation is quite large. When you got someone who's highly fucking trained, they've only got that much window of adaptation. That's why strength will no longer improve a higher trained individual's power or speed because their window of adaptation is only that big. So velocity specificity is critical with them. That's where plyos and sprints and any explosive lifting is very important because it's your nervous system will adapt to that velocity imposed. So especially for my thing is with plyos, with jumps, with power work, it's got to be quick. That's the whole fucking reason why you're doing it, to improve the ability of the nervous system to express force rapidly. So you've got to do it quick. So in answer to your question, don't train to failure.
What about the application to kickboxing and explosive sports? Would you suggest anything else?
No. Do your plyos, do your jumps, do your general prep work in there, then integrate with your sport. And what you're going to find is you're going to kick motherfuckers hard. Woo. And also another one is because I've trained boxers, pro and amateur. Big one about training pro and amateur boxers, none of them fucking lift or they do any proper strength work. Once they start doing, they apply more force to the ground. What's going to happen with their punches? They're going to fucking hit harder. And perfect example, Triple G is the hardest puncher in the world. I guarantee you he wouldn't do any proper strength or power work. Now, what you're going to see with Triple G as he gets older, because he doesn't do enough strength work, which really stimulates his central nervous system and fast twitch fiber development, what you should see with Triple G is punching power decrease because everything slows down. Because he'll do his traditional boxing specific training, his road runs. I'm not saying he's not a good boxer, don't get you fucking, but what I'm saying is in terms of his physical prep, I can imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, correct me if I'm wrong, but it'd be your traditional road runs, your sparring is important, but your road runs, your traditional boxing training. So what you should see with him is that slowing down, so Canelo should beat him. That's a big prediction. If Canelo beats Triple G, you better play this. Let's play it. Remind me when I do it. So Triple G, I followed boxing for a while. Triple G, I'm a big fan of, and Saul Alvarez, Canelo. So, Canelo's a young fella. He's 25, 26. Triple G's 34 on the decline. I think he's on the decline. That's why I think Canelo took the fight. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But I think Canelo will get him because he's 25. Reaction, but Mexican fighters are unbelievable. Boxing's such a skill-based sport as well, but it's physically demanding. I mean, you think about it, if you don't have the conditioning to last whatever rounds, you're fucked. Technique breaks down, you're going to jump.
2 minutes?
2 minute, 10 by 2 minute rounds, or fucking know, something like that. Shout out to Campbell Samuel, my boy, lost it unfortunately in the final.
Oh, we did?
In the Australian Champs, boxing amateur. I'm sorry, Campbell, but I've trained him since 3-4 years ago, but dropped. Can we tag him in this? Unfortunately, Campbell Somerville, big shout out. There you go.
Hard-working man, see him here all the time.
No, he's very hard-working, and he'll take that to heart. But we'll go back to the drawing board and work even harder. So I believe in that kid. He'll go to the Commonwealth Games in 2018 in the Gold Coast, and I'll be there watching. Hopefully, get some Woodford guys up there to watch as well.
So we're on Instagram Live, and one question that you may or may not understand: Did the Woodford SSC do the FSA, which means Functional Body Assessment, before they suggest any kind of exercise?
What?
Fonzo Alonso, we don't understand the question.
FM what? FMS?
FSA, Functional Body Assessment.
Never even heard of it.
Before they suggest any exercise.
Oh,
Probably
no.
pretty similar to...
I'm guessing he's talking about a general screen, right?
I imagine so.
Answer the question is, I screen them with my own, how it's pretty much my big six. I know how I screen people. I watch them how they move during a hinge, a squat, a horizontal push, horizontal pull.
There you go, Fonzo Alonso.
Fonzo Alonso.
Last one. This is a pretty specific question. I wasn't sure to give this one to John Smith from YouTube.
Mate, this would have to be the most... John Smith. John Smith. Like, come on, man. It's got to be a made-up account or something. John Smith.
Well, John Smith
is he a hater?
He's a 20-year-old sprinter.
Big Johnny boy.
Who just started doing some real gym work, squats and deadlifts. He's always done some sort of mainly upper body stuff.
Can I just butt in there quickly? If he's a sprinter, strength is critical because we know acceleration is correlated with stride length. Okay, relative strength is correlated with stride length. And we know it's important because strength is correlated, acceleration is correlated by your ability to apply force to the ground. So acceleration, 0 to 30 meters is critical to get strong. Thereafter, that top end speed, elasticity is critical.
Oh,
so let you know.
Get that for free.
There we go, stride length, stride frequency.
He jumped into squats and deads pretty quick, has some lower back pain.
Yes.
He started then taking it back, doing goblet squats and kettlebell deadlifts with some other stuff. And when the weight was down, the back was fine. But as soon as he puts the weight up...
Yo. Yeah, bro, I'm doing it. Don't wreck this, Chris. I'm on camera, mate. Chris Stevens, everyone, on the block. That's your claim to fame, isn't it?
Just let you know, I'm on national TV, not on fucking some little...
Well, bring him up then.
Ray, come in then. Come on. Come on.
Depends if you have a microphone for me.
Why?
I have a mic every day, mate.
Shut up, you idiot. Come on.
We ain't got that type of budget.
We don't have that budget. Come on. Come up here. I want you to shut
up. You keep doing your thing. No, I'm not coming on your camera.
So, Chris, how many injuries you got, Chris, for everyone out there?
Operation 16 coming up next month.
16 operations, and he's bestowed me the gift to rehab his body. And what a gift it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a gift of a body.
It's a gift. If you ever think someone needs a new body, it's Chris. Right here. I'll be down in 5 minutes, alright?
You're fine, mate.
Oh, he's being nice. This is weird. You're not even normally nice, mate?
I didn't know you had a camera.
Yeah, that's all, mate. That's fine, mate. Chris Stevens, everyone. Tag Chris in this as well, please. Chris Stevens, everyone. What an absolute gentleman of the sport he is. I'll tell you what.
All right.
Real good guy you are, Chris.
So the point of this is when the weight was down, back was fine. So he puts the weight up, lower back pulls up again.
Yeah.
Any suggestions?
Mate, very specific question, man. And I don't know how he squats. I don't know what his lever lengths are. There's so many factors to that.
Based on that last point, weight goes down, back okay. Weight goes up, back pain.
Makes sense. The weight's too heavy for him. Drop the weight and work on technique. Either that or the fact that he is loading his back heavily when he squats, so he might be extending too much, dumping to anterior pelvic tilt and extending, loading his lower back. That's the only thing I can think of right now without seeing him squat and without knowing his body type, without knowing his background. But keep the weight light, build up. Maybe this is where they need to send in videos, because they give me a video I can actually watch.
Right, guys, tell them.
Send in a video, guys, if you want me to critique your technique. I don't know, you got a question.
You got
great equipment, great bands. LP support, I don't know if you guys saw my launch with LP. I'm the brand ambassador, the face of LP support. Not a very good head, but I'm the face of LP support. It's a booming business in the Asia, and they've just brought it over to Australia. Look out for more LP functional apparel very soon in stores near you guys. They've rolled out in the country. It's going to come metro very soon. Look out for more announcements as we come. So I want to thank LP and macironfitness.com.au. I want to thank always my producer Alex Sandelis, does a terrific job on these Ask Woodford episodes, giving real good content. We're episode 13 and I really love doing it, so does he. Wait till we get to the milestone episodes at 1500, we'll throw a big party. And to you guys for watching and asking the questions, because I couldn't have done this show. No point having a show where people don't watch, so I really appreciate you guys watching the show, tuning in and asking questions. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe below and I'll see you guys next week for episode 14 of Ask Woodfords. Thank you.